Hello everyone, and welcome to another one of our videos. Please take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy.
Men who have been with a nice girl, what was it like? We only talked for about 6 months before I couldn't take it anymore. The last straw was when I took her out to dinner and she was very rude to the waiter, also pointing out everything wrong she was doing. She also got angry because I was looking at her. I knew right then I was dropping her off and never speaking to her again. I paid for the food, drove her home in silence, said goodbye and ghosted her. I still have audio messages that I haven't opened for months because I know they're gonna be nasty. Overall, I should have listened to the red flags earlier on, but I thought it'd be okay. My ex I bought a home for, paid her family's balloon payment, bought her multiple cars, jewelry, raised her kids as my own, got her a job at my uncle's bank and much more than I care to list. Ran away with an army guy, tried pressing charges on me, stole pictures of my grandparents, then tried to press TV charges on me a year after she cheated and ran away. She showed up at my doorstep pregnant, telling me it was still her house. The police actually almost arrested me and let her in my home. Now happily married to a beautiful woman with children of my own. Happened during April to June of this year. She was hot. Possibly the hottest girl I've ever been with. But she was never at fault. Never. In fact, she would say how much she loved me for 2 weeks and ignore me the next 2. I got mad at her for doing that. She would be online, post Insta stories, tweet, everything. During 2 weeks she would barely answer me, and when asked if everything was right, she said that everything is okay, and she kept saying, "See, you keep making yourself the center of the problem, it's always about you." Well, what do you want me to do? Say that I'm okay with you ignoring me? And then she did it again, and again. And when I said that it was over, that I was done with being with someone so erratic, she got aggressive and told me to shut the hell up and go away. Like the whole time everything was my fault. She couldn't even see the things I did for her. Nope, she was expecting me to say that I was sorry again because she never makes mistakes. Hell nah. Doesn't surprise me that she has never had a relationship longer than 6 months. Basically broke up with me so she could start dating the guy she told me not to worry about without feeling guilty. She ended up breaking my heart and emotionally destabilized me like no one else has done. Took me almost 2 years to feel like myself again, as well as to overcome the grief. Nowadays I realize I dodged a bullet, but it still hurts like hell. I was like her caretaker for a month and a half while she spun her life around smoking weed, drinking, a cliched broken heart, and actually applying herself to her postgraduate program that she had failed boards on once already. In the meantime, I was starting a new job, trying to get through the entrance exam for that, and trying to take care of my toxic, mean as a snake, cancer-ridden mother. Every argument was a "don't you dare talk to me like that" tone and attitude, and after she passed her boards the second time, thanks to my babysitting, she went and got blitz drunk and started a fight with me after announcing she'd defund her female friend, that was now married, that she went to go visit. She sent me some "I expect an apology in the morning" BS, and I blocked her on everything. A few months later she told me she stopped believing in love after that. Last I saw she gained 30 pounds and was getting married to some hairy Shrek. Bon voyage. When I broke up with her she told me, "Well, I'll hear from you soon because every ex hits me up once they realize how good they had it." 6 months later, and what do you know? Guess who won't stop aggressively texting me until I blocked her? We dated briefly, but it got out of hand fast. Turns out she was a pathological liar. She tried lying to me about my friends. She tried flirting with other guys in front of me. She also talked about her exes a lot. By the end she was trying anything to keep me from leaving. This led to her claiming that she was kidnapped and had a termination because of it. But wait, there's more. Turns out the child was mine because the doctors couldn't tell how long she was pregnant for. Also, I might add, there was no police report. No news coverage. No medical records. Nothing except her claiming it happened and saying the cops are showing up at hers and other friends' houses. Which, as you can guess, never happened. She dumped me because she was seeing some other dude on the side while I was working extra hours to get the purse she wanted. Then ran around school claiming I forced myself on her to try and protect this virgin image she was trying to uphold. Assistant principal knew it was bullshit, and told me to just avoid her. She tried to corner me in the stairwell to force me to kiss her, in front of a camera, no 2 hours after that. Friend of hers from previous state actually messaged me with proof that she certainly wasn't a virgin. Her idea of a date was also to come over and make me study for the SAT, then start hitting me repeatedly in the chest because I didn't want to have fun in my room with my parents in the house. Now she's a court-appointed defender who does nothing but act like she's some classy lawyer, married a super shaggy, submissive guy who pretty much just lets her control his life, even his coffee mugs to a degree. Very loud feminist, although an absolute hypocrite on just about every point she makes. Very vocal about her political opinions, although her sources are only from sources that are biased towards her way of thinking. Our last argument was because my aunt, literally the most important person in my life, passed away. I came home and didn't want to talk or function at all. Just a bit of mental shutdown. We've only been together a little over a year. Met in high school, and she's always known me as a homebody. If I were to say let's go to this state park right now, she'd know immediately. Gotta get her used to me actually taking her places so it can be a surprise. Made the mistake of dating a girl I worked with, a popular girl nonetheless. When we were in the talking stage, things were going as you'd expect. When we were actually together, she'd cancel dates at the last minute, forget our plans and reschedule and simply put no effort into the relationship. In work she treated me like everyone else, but she was always bossy and angry when things weren't going right. I appreciate her not treating me differently at work, but she never gave me a heads up about it and her behavior in work was always rude. She was also short-tempered, and if she heard something she didn't like, or misheard you when you were joking, she'd start an argument with you right there in front of everyone. Because she was already a popular girl, everyone favored her, whereas I was still rather new to the place. Then on our staff party I get almost blackout drunk and remember her screaming at me and telling me we're done, in front of everyone. I wake up the next day and go to work not knowing what the hell happened. And she shows up with friends and hangs out with other coworkers who of course are all chummy with her. Meanwhile I'm nursing a hangover and trying to remember what the hell happened. To this day I still don't know what happened, only a vague idea. The reason I'm saying all this is because she always portrayed herself as a nice girl, making people fond of her when in reality she was an absolute a-hole that acted all lovey-dovey in front of people, but really just didn't care. A nice girl is a gender-swapped version of the nice guy, aka the kind of guy who goes, why do women always go for a-holes and not nice guys like me? The reality for these nice guys is that they're not nice at all, they're manipulative, entitled, sexist, and view relationships as purely transactional. The worst kind of nice guys are the ones who fly into a rage when they're rejected, and threaten the girls who dare turn them down. Similarly, nice girls operate with a similar mode of claiming to be nice but in reality being awful human beings. They too have the mentality of why do guys always go for cheerleaders instead of someone nice like me. Nice girls often have a victim mentality, internalized misogyny, and deeply ingrained ideas about gender roles to the point of toxic behavior towards men. They tend to be immature and selfish, but still have the delusion of being nice people. I'm the nicest person ever, and everyone else is an a-hole is their mantra. The biggest difference between the two is that usually women can sniff nice guys from a mile away and avoid them. Men on the other hand, don't see the warning signs from nice girls until it's too late. So this was a long time ago, and this girl was absolutely beautiful. She had everything, and she was an absolute sweetheart when she was happy, smart, funny, loving. That was about 90% of the time. The other 10%, so like every couple of weeks, she was one of the most awful people I've ever met, anytime she didn't get her own way. He didn't accept any responsibility when she did something to upset someone else. She was never in the wrong. In her own mind, she'd have tantrums when I did anything she didn't like, such as doing anything fun without her, and she could be absolutely vicious to anybody that upset her. I don't know if she was a narcissist or just a spoiled brat. We were pretty young, but one time she decided that we needed to take a break because she was mad about something or other and I took the out. Best decision ever. Dated a really nice girl, pediatric nurse. She checked most of my boxes. My parents and her parents approved and were supportive of our relationship. She's good with children, good career, caring, respectful, and was really into me. The problem was, I just wasn't that into her. Something about it just bored the shit out of me, and the fun was boring. She had only been in one relationship before, so she wasn't very experienced and it showed. And I guess I didn't want to have to teach someone to do what I like. Granted, this was a turbulent time for me because I was fresh out of a really toxic volatile relationship with an ex, so I didn't give this nice girl my full effort, but after dating for 6 months, I just didn't feel the spark and felt like dating her was making my parents happy more than it was making me happy. I ultimately ended the relationship. She ended up marrying someone else within a year of us splitting and she looks happy. I'm happy for her. She forced me to give her my social media passwords. I couldn't be friends with any of my girlfriends, and even dude friends were a threat to her. She once told me to shut up during a movie because her parents are very religious and I was laughing at a religious joke. Kingsman church scene. She also kept buying me weed after I told her I wanted to not smoke because it was making me anxious, but she used it to make me docile so she could control me. She once told her ex-fiancé that I wasn't particularly smart and she didn't know why she was with me. Then when I found out, she sent me an edible fruit arrangement to my work. The day we broke up I moved 600 miles away and have never looked back. However, she did send me a snapshot of her and her new BF at a ski resort a month after we broke up. That was 4 years ago and I cannot being myself to try and date anyone since.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end. We want to thank you again for giving us a few minutes of your time, and we wish you have a great rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. It really does help us a lot. That's it from me. Roll the outro.